Imagine standing in a vast, dark forest. The moon is hidden behind thick clouds, and the path ahead is unclear. You clutch a map, but it's smeared, confusing, and filled with unreachable markers labeled goals. Your heart races, caught between hope and frustration. What if the map itself is the problem? What if, rather than chasing distant points, you shifted your focus to the rhythm of your footsteps? Steady, deliberate, and life-changing. Tonight, you will learn how to set systems instead of goals. Systems that become your guiding light. Systems that free you from the endless chase of fleeting accomplishments and instead root you in ongoing progress. This is not just a method, it's a transformation. Your transformation. Chapter 1: The Myth of Goals. There is a strange kind of magic in the word goal. It promises a future shimmering with victory and accomplishment. Like a destination etched in the stars, we grasp onto goals with fierce hope, believing that reaching them will finally bring meaning, happiness, or peace. But what if that magic is a trick, a mirage, that pulls us forward only to dissolve into the horizon as we approach? What if goals, rather than lighting our path, blind us to the real source of lasting change? Think about the last time you set a goal. Perhaps to lose weight, write a book, or get a promotion. At first you may have felt a surge of excitement, a spark that flamed your determination. But as days turned into weeks, that excitement often fades. The goal grows distant, a shadow that feels less like hope and more like pressure. And if you don't reach it soon enough, self-doubt creeps in, whispering that you aren't enough, that you've failed. The promised happiness slips through your fingers, leaving frustration and exhaustion in its place. Goals are not bad in themselves. They can be inspiring, even necessary, but so often they become a trap, fixating our minds on an outcome while ignoring the process. We create rigid expectations for ourselves, where success is a single checkbox and failure is defeat. This all-or-nothing mindset can make us overlook the value of steady progress, consistency, and growth. It can drown us in anxiety over results we cannot fully control, leaving us stuck in cycles of hope and despair. Imagine your life as a river flowing toward the ocean. Goals are like distant shores, beautiful to imagine, but fixed, rigid. The river, in contrast, is ever-moving, shaped by currents, stones, and changing winds. If you focus only on the shores, you risk losing sight of the river itself. The true power lies not in where the river ends up, but in the vitality of its flow. In the same way, life is not a race to a finish line, but an unfolding dance, a series of moments that build upon each other. This is the first step toward a profound truth. Change is not a destination, but a way of being. Clinging to goals as if they were final truths blinds you to the power of the journey itself. It's like watching a movie only through one frame, missing the full story, the movement, and the emotions that connect it all. When we shift our focus from goals to systems, we start to live within the flow. We invest in processes that nurture growth every day, no matter what the outcome looks like. What if the secret to lasting change is not about what you want to achieve, but how you choose to live continuously? What if it's not about sprinting toward a finish line, but about stepping into a rhythm that moves you forward with grace? Systems are these invisible currents beneath the surface. They are the habits, the decisions, and the routines that, like the river, carry you forward shape by shape, day by day. In this moment, give yourself permission to question everything you thought you knew about success. Let go of the frantic chasing of goals that leave you exhausted and empty. Instead, open your eyes to the subtle, quiet power of systems. These are not just tricks or tactics to be learned quickly. They are a fundamental shift in how you see yourself and your life's unfolding. Systems ask you to trust the process over the product, to savor the becoming rather than obsess over the being. It's easy to feel lost in this idea at first. If not goals, then what direction? What anchor can hold you steady amid life's storms? This audiobook is your invitation to discover that anchor, a system that does not depend on reaching far-off milestones, but thrives in the here and now. A system that will change not just what you do, but who you are. Let this first chapter be a gentle awakening. Feel the weight of goal setting melt away and the lightness of systems begin to grow. Notice how the fixation on outcomes tightens your chest, while the embrace of daily practice opens your heart. This is the emotional terrain where transformation lives, not in grand leaps, but humble footsteps forward. Imagine the relief of releasing yourself from the tyranny of perfect results. Imagine the joy of progress measured in small victories rather than dramatic achievements. Imagine the freedom that comes from building your life on foundations you control rather than hopes you cannot guarantee. Today, your journey begins with an open mind and a courageous heart. You're stepping into a new way of thinking, one that honors patience, resilience, and continuous growth. Know this: the myths about goals were never meant to trap you, but to teach you. Now you're ready to unlearn old stories and embrace a vibrant, living system. In the next chapter, we will uncover what it truly means to live by systems, how they serve as the compass guiding your daily actions and shaping your identity. You will learn why systems hold far greater power than goals ever could, offering you a pathway not just to success, but to ongoing fulfillment and peace. So take a deep breath, feel the moment settling within you, the mystery, the possibility, the promise of change. Step quietly into what's coming next. The path may feel uncertain now, but trust that with each step, the way will become clearer, richer, and more alive. Your transformation begins here. Chapter 2: Systems as the True Compass. Picture yourself on a sailboat, adrift in the vast ocean at dusk. The sky shifts from fiery orange to deep indigo. Around you, the water ripples softly, pulling you with gentle insistence. You have maps, stars, and distant lighthouses, promising safety and direction. But what truly keeps you moving forward, steady and sure, is not the distant landmarks. It's the mastery of how you steer, adjust your sails, and read the wind. This mastery is your system. This chapter is an invitation to embrace systems as your true compass. While goals are like distant shores, systems are the currents and sails that move you there, day after day. They are the heartbeat of progress, quiet, consistent, and powerful in their simplicity. Let's be clear, systems are not complicated hacks or rigid schedules. They are the choices you make in the everyday moments, the habits you build that align with who you want to become. When you focus on systems, you're not just chasing a result, you're cultivating a way of living that naturally leads to change. Think of a gardener tending to a wide field. The goal might be a bountiful harvest, but the gardener doesn't merely pray or hope for crops. She waters, plants, seeds, pulls weeds, and observes the soil. These daily actions form her system. No single moment guarantees the harvest, but the system nurtures life far beyond the reach of wishful thinking. Systems give you freedom from the tyranny of outcomes. They shift your attention from the uncertain future to the present moment where you hold the reins. This shift dissolves anxiety and frustration because progress is no longer measured in distant trophies, but in the small steps taken faithfully, even on the days you feel weak or uncertain. When you adopt a systems mindset, you align with your identity, not just your desires. Goals ask, what do you want to achieve? Systems ask, who do you want to become? This subtle but profound difference changes everything. The person who builds a system for writing every day doesn't just aspire to write a book. They become a writer. The one who cultivates a system for daily movement becomes someone who moves naturally and joyfully, no matter what. There is deep emotional power in this realignment. It brings a sense of integrity, a harmony between your values and your actions. You begin to experience yourself as whole, capable, and worthy. Systems build confidence not by promise of outcomes, but by grounding you in consistent practice. They transform hope into tangible growth. Consider the example of a musician learning to play an instrument. The goal might be to perform at a concert, but the true transformation comes from committing to daily practice, exploring sounds, and embracing mistakes as lessons. This system of learning shapes not only skill but courage and patience. Performance is then a natural result, not a frantic chase. Systems also nurture resilience. Life is unpredictable. Setbacks, distractions, and doubt will come. But when living by systems, you don't lose your way when one goal slips away. You keep moving because you are anchored in process, not outcome. Systems empower you to adapt, to stay curious, and to keep growing even when the destination fades. This way of living invites a profound presence. Instead of sprinting toward a finish line that always seems unreachable, you start to savor the unfolding path. Systems teach that transformation is not a sudden leap, but a rhythm woven through your days. This rhythm carries you forward gently but relentlessly, like the tide that shapes the shore over time. In embracing systems, you are also embracing a fundamental truth of life. Permanence is an illusion. Trying to grab onto fixed goals is like trying to hold water in your hands. Systems flow with change. They invite you to dance with life's ebb and flow rather than resist it. This dance is not about control, but harmony, about trusting the process over the outcome. There is no failure in systems, only feedback. When a routine falters or a habit fades, you don't judge yourself harshly. Instead, you observe, learn, and adjust. This compassionate approach dissolves the fear that so often paralyzes us in goal chasing. It opens a space for experimentation, growth, and self-love. Look around you at the people you admire, the ones who seem to thrive, to grow beyond obstacles, and to live balanced, joyful lives. Behind their success, you will often find a system, a repeatable process they honor daily. It might be their morning ritual, their way of managing time, or simply a commitment to showing up for themselves. These systems quietly sculpt their existence, becoming the foundation for extraordinary living. Now pause and ask yourself, what systems are currently shaping your life? Are they serving your growth, your peace, and your purpose? Or are they allowing distractions, procrastination, and frustration to take root? This question isn't meant to shame, but to awaken. It is a call to awareness, the first step in designing a system that truly empowers. You might be thinking, but I am too busy. How can I add systems to an already full life? The beauty of systems is they don't have to be grand or time-consuming. In fact, the most powerful systems are simple, small habits that build momentum quietly but persistently. Sometimes all it takes is a single meaningful action, repeated daily, to start unraveling old chains and creating new paths. Imagine a pebble dropped into still water. The ripples spread far beyond the point of impact, gently reshaping the surface. Your system is that pebble, small action creating far-reaching change over time. It is proof that transformation need not be overwhelming or dramatic, but consistent and intentional. As this chapter closes, know this: systems are the true compass for your life journey. They are your steady guides amid uncertainty, your trusted companions through highs and lows. Choosing systems over goals is not just a strategy, it's a profound act of self-care and wisdom. Ahead lies the next chapter, where science meets spirit. We will explore why systems work on a deeper level, how your brain embraces them, and why they unlock change in ways goals never will. This knowledge will deepen your connection to the process and fortify your commitment to the living rhythm of systems. Feel the calm confidence settling within you, the assurance that you're not lost, but on a path alive with possibility. The currents are moving, the sails are set. Trust your compass and keep moving forward. The journey is just beginning. Chapter 3. The science behind systems. Imagine a quiet seed nestled deep in rich, dark soil. Invisible at first, it slowly awakens, sending tiny roots that spread and anchor. Day by day, unseen forces nurture it: sunlight, moisture, warmth, working in harmony beneath the surface. Soon, that seed becomes a sapling, then a tree. Transformation is happening. Though we cannot witness every detail, change in its most powerful form often begins quietly, beneath awareness. This is the science of systems. To grasp why systems outshine goals, we must delve beneath the surface into the hidden workings of the mind and behavior. Inside your brain lives a remarkable ability to form habits, to carve out pathways that become easier to travel with time. This is neuroplasticity, the brain's natural capacity to reorganize itself based on experience. Every new action you take creates a tiny groove, a neural path. The more you walk that path, the smoother and wider it becomes. Eventually, the action becomes automatic, embedded deep within your being. Goals ask you to leap toward a finish line, often relying on willpower, a fragile, fleeting spark. Systems, on the other hand, harness the brain's natural wiring by focusing on repeated small behaviors that form habits. This makes change less about pushing hard and more about walking steadily. Picture a person trying to start a habit of daily meditation. The goal might be meditate for 30 minutes, but the brain hears this as a big, daunting task, often triggering resistance. Too busy, no time, not enough energy. Instead, a system might begin with just 2 minutes every morning. The brain perceives this as manageable, and over time, the habit grows organically. This small shift, 2 minutes becomes 5, then 10, then the full 30, creates sustainable change without overwhelming the mind's resistance. This process works because our brains are wired to conserve energy. Willpower is a limited resource. When you rely solely on goals, you demand bursts of effort, like sprinting until exhaustion. Systems gently reduce that struggle by embedding behaviors into daily life until they require almost no conscious effort at all. This is why habits born of systems feel as natural as breathing. Moreover, systems tap into identity, the core of who you are. In the realm of change, identity is the most powerful driver. When your actions align with your self-image, motivation becomes effortless. Systems are designed to nurture this alignment. Instead of asking, "Can I achieve this goal?" your question shifts to, "Who do I wish to become?" The answer shapes your behavior deep within. Think of a smoker trying to quit. A goal might be, "Stop smoking by next month." But quitting may feel like a battle against an old version of themselves. A system that rewires identity might look like defining themselves as a person who cares deeply for their health, then building daily rituals consistent with that identity, drinking water when cravings hit, taking walks, practicing mindfulness. This gradual, identity-focused system strengthens neural pathways that support the desired change. Science also reveals the power of feedback loops embedded in systems. Every time you engage in a systems process, you receive feedback, physical, emotional, or mental, that either encourages you forward or asks for adjustment. These loops act like a compass, continually guiding and refining your progress. Without feedback, goal attempts can feel like guessing in the dark. For example, a writer using a system might commit to writing 200 words a day. Each day's writing is a feedback point. Did it feel natural? Was it rewarding? Did obstacles arise? This daily feedback allows adaptation, adjusting time, environment, or mindset, keeping the system alive and responsive. In contrast, a goal like write a novel can leave someone lost, unsure whether they're moving forward until the final product emerges, often too late to course correct. Another scientific insight lies in how systems engage your emotions. Goals can ignite excitement initially but often lead to fear, frustration, or guilt when unmet. Systems, by focusing on daily process, foster a sense of accomplishment through regular small wins. These wins release dopamine, lighting up reward centers in your brain and reinforcing behavior. The emotional uplift from each step creates a virtuous cycle. Motivation grows not from distant results, but from the joy of doing. Reflect on the consistency in sports training. Athletes rarely fixate solely on winning trophies. They focus on daily practice, the system of drills, rest, nutrition, mental exercises. This system builds endurance, skill, and confidence incrementally. The science of their training speaks volumes. Sustainable excellence flourishes from systems, not singular goals. We also see how systems prevent what psychologists call goal fatigue. When goals are too large or overly numerous, the brain can become overwhelmed, leading to procrastination or paralysis. Systems, by breaking transformation into manageable steps, reduce overwhelm and build competence through mastery of each element. This neuroscience-backed understanding reveals why people frequently fail at goals, yet succeed with changes rooted in systems. Goals often rely on motivation, a flame that flickers and falters. Systems rely on structure, habit, and identity, forces that sustain the flame even in moments of doubt. The brilliance of science here is not just in understanding mechanics, but in deepening compassion for yourself. It reveals that struggle is not a personal weakness, but part of how the mind interacts with change. When you stop judging your inconsistencies and instead learn to design supportive systems, you create space for kindness, patience, and reality-based growth. So now you see the invisible architecture beneath transformation. Systems are the bridges your brain eagerly builds, the scaffolds holding your new life from crumbling. They are the gentle yet powerful currents that guide you forward, day by day, step by step. The journey with systems is deeply human. It embraces imperfection, learning, and evolution. It knows change is rarely spectacular in the moment. It is usually quiet, small, and humble. But that quiet persistence, backed by the science of habit and identity, has the power to unfold extraordinary transformation. Next, we will bring these insights to life through stories. Real people who chose systems and found their lives reshaped beyond imagination. Their experiences will show you the tangible magic woven through daily practice. These narratives will deepen your connection to the science, making it not just knowledge but a living, breathing part of your own story. Let your mind rest in the wonder of what science reveals, the promise that with systems, change is not only possible but inevitable. The foundations are set, the currents are strong. Prepare to meet those who have walked this path and thrived. The story is unfolding, and it is waiting for you. Chapter 4. Stories of System Triumph. On a chilly autumn morning, in a small city tucked between hills and rivers, Sarah sat by her window, staring at the blank page on her laptop. For years she dreamed of writing a novel, a story that lived in her heart, but never seemed to find its way into words. Every attempt to set a goal like finish the novel in 6 months collapsed under the weight of overwhelm and doubt. But one day, she tried something different. Instead of chasing the distant prize, she focused on a simple system: write just one paragraph a day. No pressure, no judgment, just the daily practice. Months passed, and paragraph by paragraph, her story grew. By the time the next autumn rolled around, the pages had amassed into a manuscript. That manuscript would later inspire readers far beyond her small city. Sarah's triumph wasn't a sudden victory. It was a slow, deliberate reshaping of her life through a system that honored the process more than the result. Sarah's story is not unique. It's a beacon illuminating the true essence of transformation through systems. Let's journey with others who have walked similar paths, where systems quietly reclaimed their lives from the chaos of goal chasing. Take Jamal, a man weighed down by pressure to excel in his career. His early days were ruled by ambitious goals: hit sales targets, secure promotions, become a leader. But with each missed milestone came creeping frustration and burnout. Then Jamal shifted focus. He designed a system centered on improving one small aspect of his work each day, learning a new skill, seeking feedback, or organizing his workspace. Slowly, this system reshaped not only his performance, but his relationship with work. No longer desperately chasing promotions, Jamal discovered fulfillment in mastery and growth. Promotions came naturally, almost as a byproduct, not the frantic aim. Or consider Maya, a mother struggling with health and energy. Overwhelmed by conflicting advice, fitness goals felt like distant mountains. So, instead of fixating on losing 20 pounds, Maya committed to a system of moving for just 10 minutes daily, stretching, walking, dancing with her children. That small rhythm energized her body and spirit. Over a year, her energy soared, weight stabilized, and she grew joyful in care rather than punishment. Her system became a sanctuary, a place where transformation happened gently, with kindness. What connects Sarah, Jamal, and Maya is not their destinations, but their steady human commitment to systems that respected their lives, struggles, and dreams. Through their experiences, a new definition of success emerges, one not marked by trophies or titles, but by resilience, joy in daily effort, and growth felt deep within the soul. Their journeys expose a vital truth. Systems are not about perfection, they are about presence, about showing up, even in small ways, despite fear, doubt, or fatigue. They prove that transformation is less a mountain to climb and more a river to flow with. These stories also reveal the emotional landscape of systems. Beneath the practical methods lies something tender and sacred, a reconnection with your own capacity to create change on your terms. Systems honor your humanity, embracing setbacks not as failures, but as learning curves. They invite you to be both the gardener and the garden, patient, nurturing, and alive. Imagine your own life story, layered with these dreams and struggles. What systems have you unknowingly built? Which ones have you abandoned too soon in pursuit of elusive goals? This reflection is the heart of transformation, a willingness to engage with your life's narrative honestly and gently. System triumphs often begin quietly, in moments unseen. They do not announce themselves with grand gestures, but whisper through consistency, courage, and care. In truth, systems forge a deep emotional strength. The strength to persist when motivation wanes, to return when distractions pull you away, and to trust the slow unfolding of change. This strength feels both personal and universal, like a silent promise held across generations. As you listen, consider the rhythms in your own life, the small acts you repeat, the routines you cling to, the habits you avoid. Each is a thread in the tapestry of your system. Tending to these threads, weaving them with intention, can bring about repair and growth beyond measure. The beauty of systems is their adaptability. They never demand you become someone else. Instead, they help you become a fuller version of yourself, rooted in authenticity and aligned with your deepest values. Sarah's paragraphs, Jamal's daily work improvements, Maya's 10-minute movements. These are not stories of extraordinary people, but reflections of human potential when systems guide the way. Your story, too, waits in the wings. It requires only that you start with one simple step, one humble system that fits your life, your dreams, your heart. As this chapter closes, feel the warmth of possibility, the invitation to build a system that nurtures your unique journey. Know that triumph is not reserved for the lucky or gifted, but accessible to anyone ready to commit to the quiet power of daily rhythm. Next, you will learn how to design your own system, tailored to your life and aspirations. A system that becomes your steady companion, your source of strength and growth. The door is open now. Step through it with courage and curiosity. Your transformation continues, and your story unfolds in the grace of systems. Chapter 5. Designing your personal system. Close your eyes for a moment and picture a blank canvas stretching endlessly before you. It's untouched, vibrant with possibility, and entirely yours to shape. What colors will you choose? What forms will emerge? This blank canvas is your life, and the brush in your hand is the system you will design, the daily practice and habits that will paint your future. Designing your personal system is the pivotal turning point on this journey. It's the moment when theory meets action, when potential transforms into reality. This chapter is your blueprint, your deep dive into crafting a system that fits your life like a well-worn glove, one tailored to your unique rhythm, values and dreams. The challenge many face is believing that systems must be complicated, a rigid set of rules carved in stone. But the truth is far more liberating. Powerful systems are simple, adaptable, and rooted in your authentic self. Imagine a tailor crafting a suit. It takes precision, care, and adjustments. But the finished garment fits perfectly because it respects form and movement. Your system is that suit, made for your contours, your pace. Start by asking yourself the most important question: what do I want my life to feel like every day? Is it calm and centered, energetic and creative, organized and peaceful? Your system begins here, in the feelings you wish to cultivate, not just the tasks you wish to accomplish. Once this emotional foundation is clear, break down those feelings into tangible habits. For example, if calm is your goal, a system might include morning breathing exercises or a timed period of quiet reflection. If creativity stirs your soul, setting aside a small window each day to sketch, write, or explore ideas becomes your cornerstone. The aim is to build a constellation of small, meaningful actions that align with your vision. Next, turn your attention to triggers, the gentle nudges that catalyze action. These can be moments, places, or cues woven into your environment. Maybe it's placing a journal beside your bed as a reminder to write each morning, or using your post-shower routine as a trigger to stretch and breathe deeply. Triggers anchor your system in the fabric of daily life, transforming ordinary moments into gateways for growth. Flexibility is another vital thread in your system's design. Life is dynamic, and you need a system that can bend without breaking. If an action feels overwhelming one day, scale it back instead of abandoning it. If a habit no longer serves you, reimagine it. Think of your system like a river, steady in flow, but adaptable to the landscape it touches. Simplicity fosters sustainability. Resist the urge to build a system filled with endless tasks or demands. Start small, 1 or 2 habits quietly integrated. The power of compounds lies in patience, not in volume. Small wins ripple outward, creating momentum that carries you forward with less friction and more joy. Accountability, however you choose to weave it in, strengthens your system. It might be a trusted friend, a journal, or a digital app tracking your progress. The key is compassionate accountability, not punishment, but encouragement that celebrates steps taken and gently redirects when you stray. Reflection is the system's silent partner. Schedule moments to pause and ask, what's working? What's not? How do I feel about this practice? Reflection guides you to refine and deepen the system, keeping it alive and aligned with your evolving self. Let me share a simple yet profound example. The teacher named Leo wanted to read more but felt overwhelmed by time. Instead of read a book a month, he designed a system of reading just one page before bed. Some nights it was one paragraph, some nights a chapter. Over a year, Leo finished dozens of books without pressure or guilt. His system fit his life, honored his limits, and celebrated steady progress. Another example is Priya, who sought to improve her health but hated the gym's intensity. Her system started with a 5-minute morning stretch beside her bed, gradually increasing as her confidence grew. Priya's system wasn't about immediate results, but about cultivating a sustainable, loving practice that respected her body's signals. These stories remind us that designing your system is an act of self-love, not self-improvement alone. It honors who you are now while nurturing who you wish to become. As you embark on crafting your system, remember, it is a deeply personal, living design. No one else's system fits you perfectly. Your uniqueness is your strength. Trust your intuition, listen to your body and mind, and embrace the freedom to create a system that feels good and works well. This design is not final. It's a beginning. Systems grow, shift, and mature along with you. The courage lies in starting, messy, imperfect, hopeful. Before moving forward, take a breath and honor this moment of creation. You are no longer just dreaming, you are building, one choice, one habit, one intentional moment at a time. Ahead, in the next chapter, we will explore how to overcome inevitable resistance, a quiet saboteur in every journey, and how to nourish consistency with kindness and resilience. You will learn to meet challenges not as enemies, but as teachers guiding your system's evolution. Let your heart feel the power of what you're creating. This system is your path, your lifeline, your promise to yourself. Step into it with confidence and grace. Your transformation is unfolding. Chapter 6. Overcoming resistance and staying consistent. There is a moment in every journey when the welcoming breeze shifts into a stubborn headwind, a test of your will, your belief, your resilience. This is resistance. It arrives softly at first, a whisper of doubt, a flicker of distraction, a surge of fatigue. Then it grows louder, issuing its challenge. Why bother? What's the point? Just give up. Resistance is the quiet saboteur that can unravel even the most carefully built systems if you let it. But here's the truth. Resistance is not your enemy. Resistance is part of the path. It is the very signal that you are on the edge of transformation, stretching beyond old limits into new territory. To overcome resistance, you don't fight it with brute force. You approach it as a wise teacher, learning its patterns, listening to its messages, and responding with grace. This chapter is your guide to staying consistent, not by crushing your spirit under willpower, but by nurturing resilience through self-awareness and compassion. First, understand what resistance feels like in your body and mind. It might appear as procrastination, distraction, or sudden fatigue. Maybe it's anxiety, fear, or self-criticism whispering that you're not enough. Recognizing these feelings is the first step. Resistance thrives in the shadows of avoidance and denial. Naming it takes away its power. Next, pause and breathe. Instead of pushing harder, pause to observe the resistance with kindness. Ask yourself, what is this feeling trying to protect me from? Often, resistance shields us from discomfort, failure, or change we're not yet ready to face. When you listen without judgment, resistance softens because it knows it has been heard. Picture a runner encountering a steep hill. The instinct might be to sprint harder and exhaust quickly, or to stop altogether. But the wise runner adjusts pace, catches breath, and moves steadily. This is exactly how you navigate resistance in your system. Adjust your pace rather than abandon the journey. One powerful tool is scaling your system. On tough days, reduce your practice to the smallest possible action. If your system is to write for 30 minutes, try writing one sentence. If you face resistance to exercising, stretch for just 2 minutes. These micro steps keep you connected to your system, reinforcing identity and momentum without overwhelming your spirit. Consistency is born, not from rigid perfection, but from gentle persistence. Every return to your system, even after a pause, is a victory. This reframes failure as a moment of learning rather than defeat. The great transformation happens not from flawless streaks, but from unwavering commitment to show up again and again. Another key insight is to build an environment that supports you physically, mentally, and emotionally. Remove distractions, create cues, and surround yourself with reminders of your intentions. If your morning routine includes meditation, leave your cushion visible and accessible. If you want to read more, keep a book by your favorite chair. These environmental supports reduce the energy resistance needs to rise and keep your system alive. Support from others also eases resistance. Share your system with a trusted friend or join a group with similar intentions. Accountability born from connection brings encouragement and perspective when you feel isolated in struggle. But resistance isn't only about external challenges. Sometimes it lives in deeper stories we tell ourselves. I'm too busy, I don't deserve change, or I've failed before. Why try again? These narratives can bind us tightly in old patterns. The transformative power of systems lies in their ability to gently rewrite these stories through repeated actions that reinforce a new identity. Every time you practice your system, you affirm, I am someone who cares for myself. I am capable. I am growing. This inner work requires patience and profound self-compassion. You are not breaking habits by force, but nurturing new ones with love. Celebrate the courage it takes to keep moving in the face of resistance, a courage many never find. Remember too that resistance often comes in waves. There will be times of smooth sailing and times of storms. Your system must be resilient enough to weather both. Flexibility is your ally. Know when to rest, when to adjust, and when to return with renewed energy. This balance keeps burnout at bay and the journey sustainable. Consider the ancient oak tree weathering tempest after tempest. It bends and sways, but does not break, because it is rooted deeply. Your system, infused with compassion and flexibility, becomes these roots, grounding you through resistance storms. As this chapter draws to a close, hold this reflection close. Resistance is a companion on your journey, not a barrier. When you meet it with awareness, kindness, and strategy, you move beyond mere persistence into empowered transformation. Up next, we will explore how to measure progress without obsession, how to find joy and motivation in the journey itself, rather than fixate on distant results. This shift will further free you from resistance and deepen your connection to your evolving self. Breathe deeply now. Feel the strength building within you. The winds may rise, but your roots grow stronger. Your system is alive and unfolding. The path is yours to walk, step by mindful step. Chapter 7. Measuring progress without obsession. There's a strange paradox at the heart of change. We crave progress, yet our fixation on results can blind us to the very growth unfolding beneath our feet. Imagine standing at the edge of a vast garden, anxious to see blooms but staring only at the buds. You become restless, impatient, hoping for dramatic flowers overnight. But the garden's magic is quiet and slow, revealing itself in delicate ways if you only allow your eyes to soften and your heart to wait. This chapter invites you to shift how you measure progress, a subtle but powerful pivot that deepens your system's practice and frees you from the exhausting grip of obsession. Measuring progress is essential. It fuels motivation, provides direction, and nurtures confidence. Yet, when we measure only by distant outcomes, weight lost, books finished, promotions earned, we tie our sense of worth to numbers that might fluctuate or remain out of reach. This narrow focus breeds anxiety, disappointment, and a sense of failure. Instead, what if you learn to celebrate progress in the present moment, in the small triumphs of daily action, in the courage of showing up when it's hard, in the tiny shifts that ripple through your habits, like gentle waves? Such a shift reframes progress as a mosaic, a collection of moments, each valuable and necessary. It invites you to notice the changes in energy, mindset, resilience, and joy, not just the external markers. These subtle cues often tell a richer, kinder story of your journey. Consider Maya, whose goal was to get healthier. Initially, she obsessed over numbers, pounds lost, calories counted. The pressure felt unbearable until she began tracking her daily system, the minutes she moved, her mood after practice, the way her clothes fit. Slowly, her relationship with progress became one of curiosity and gratitude, not judgment. She saw herself growing stronger, more present, and happier. This response fueled her persistence far more than any scale could. Science supports this approach. Studies show that focusing on process rather than outcome reduces stress and improves performance. When people celebrate their efforts, their motivation lasts longer, and the likelihood of quitting decreases. Progress measured in habits, feelings, and actions creates a sustainable momentum well beyond fleeting goals. Tracking progress this way also enhances self-compassion. You learn to appreciate your humanity and resilience. You stop punishing yourself for off days and instead learn to adapt with kindness. This compassionate lens softens the harsh inner critic that sabotages many growth journeys. Now the question becomes, how do you practice this expanded way of measuring progress? Start by identifying meaningful process indicators. What actions or feelings reveal your system is working? Maybe it's the number of days you follow your routine, the way your mind calms after meditation, or how your creativity flows during practice. These lead indicators provide immediate, encouraging feedback. Create simple rituals to check in with yourself. Journaling, voice notes, or brief reflections can uncover subtle shifts. Ask, what did I do today that aligned with my system? How did it feel? What challenges emerged? This mindful awareness deepens connection and anchors you in the present. Visual tools can help too, charts, checklists, or habit trackers. But remember, the tool is not the goal. It's the conversation with yourself that matters most. It's this internal dialogue that nurtures growth. Equally important is noticing the emotional landscape of progress. Celebrate moments that bring joy, curiosity, or peace. Notice resilience when you return after a stumble. Feel pride in your courage to continue. These emotional markers are signposts of transformation, often more profound than any external achievement. But beware of slipping into new obsessions, tracking so rigidly that progress becomes a source of stress or competition. Balance metrics with flexibility and kindness. If a tracking system starts to feel like a burden, simplify or pause. Systems thrive best when they invite freedom, not constraint. Imagine a musician practicing daily. Rather than obsessing over flawless performance, she tunes in to the pleasure of sound, the slight improvement in rhythm, the growing ease in her fingers. Each practice is progress, not perfection. Your journey is the same. This expanded measurement also invites celebration, a practice often forgotten. Celebrating signals your brain to release dopamine, reinforcing behaviors with joy, not fear or obligation. It creates a positive feedback loop, fueling persistence and growth. So, build celebrations into your system. It could be a moment of gratitude, sharing wins with a friend, or treating yourself gently after consistent effort. These rituals honor your commitment and make the journey meaningful. As Chapter 7 closes, embrace a new way to see yourself, not just as a goal chaser, but as a gardener tending a living, growing system. Progress is not a distant prize, but the vibrant life stirring under your touch, unfolding in imperfect but beautiful ways. In the next chapter, we will explore how systems shape every part of your life. Not just one goal or habit, creating harmony and balance that ripple beyond what you imagined. This holistic view will enrich your understanding and inspire deeper integration. Take a deep breath now. Feel the gentle rhythm of your unfolding progress. The garden is growing. The story is yours, moment by moment, step by step. Chapter 8. The Ripple Effect. Systems in all areas of life. Imagine dropping a single pebble into a still lake. The initial splash is small, almost unnoticed, but soon concentric ripples spread outward, touching every corner of the water's surface. Systems work in the very same way, starting with small actions in one area of your life, and then expanding, influencing every other part with quiet, powerful momentum. This chapter explores how systems are not isolated tools for achievement. They are the living pulse of your entire existence, weaving through relationships, creativity, health, mindset, and beyond. When you embrace systems in this holistic way, your life transforms not in fragments but as a harmonious whole. Too often we try to separate our lives into compartments. Work here, family there, health somewhere else. Expecting success in one to magically resolve challenges in another. But life flows like a river. Every current touches the banks. Every tributary affects the stream. Systems, when intentionally applied across all areas, create rhythms that nourish the whole, helping you move closer to balance and fulfillment. Take the example of Elena, a graphic designer juggling work deadlines, a growing family, and her own creative dreams. She once tried to tackle these demands separately, setting rigid goals for career, parenting, and art. The outcome, exhaustion and fragmentation. Then Elena shifted to a systems approach across all parts of her life. Morning rituals that energized her creativity, pockets of focused work time, brief mindfulness moments during family routines, each system interlaced with another, creating a web of support that carried her through challenges gracefully. Her life came less about juggling plates and more about flowing dance steps. This integrative approach helps you avoid burnout and create synergy. When your physical well-being system improves, your mental clarity sharpens, making work or creative systems more effective. When your social systems foster connection and support, resilience grows, strengthening your response to stress. Each system acts like a vital organ, supporting and sustaining the body of your life. Reflect on your own daily habits and routines. How might they be interconnected more than you realize? What small changes in one area could naturally ripple into others? For instance, cultivating a simple gratitude practice can shift your mindset, improving relationships and fueling motivation at work. Exercise not only strengthens your body, but elevates mood and focus throughout your day. Systems, applied holistically, invite a kind of positive chain reaction. Another profound truth in this ripple effect is that systems can help dismantle toxic cycles. For example, a system that prioritizes restful sleep can break patterns of stress and exhaustion that otherwise cascade into poor decision-making and emotional strain. One well-crafted habit creates cracks in old, limiting loops, opening space for renewal. The holistic impact of systems also redefines success. No longer is it a singular achievement or static endpoint, but a fluid, evolving state of harmony. Success becomes feeling grounded in your body, fulfilled in work, connected to loved ones, and charged with creativity. Systems create scaffolding for this expansive vision, offering pathways that feel manageable, authentic, and powerful. Remember, this isn't about perfection or doing everything at once. It's about small, intentional shifts across your life spectrum, each respecting your capacity and pace. Think of your systems as a garden. Not every flower blooms simultaneously, but each contributes to the garden's beauty and health. One practical way to apply this expansive view is to review your current systems and ask, how do these habits support multiple areas? Could a tiny adjustment in morning routines influence mood, productivity, and relationships? Can a weekly check-in with yourself nurture emotional, physical, and creative health at once? These reflections cultivate insight and guide evolution. Bringing systems to life across all areas also invites you into profound self-awareness. You start to sense which habits energize you and which drain your spirit. You become a curious observer, learning to prune, nurture, and reorient with intention. This ongoing, compassionate dialogue fosters lifelong growth and balance. The ripple effect of systems isn't just practical, it's deeply human. It honors your complexity and reminds you that life's richness comes from the dance of many elements together. Systems support you in embracing your whole self, mind, body, heart, and spirit, living fully and with purpose. As we close this chapter, feel the vastness of your potential. Every system you create has the power to touch your life's waters in ways you might not yet see. Trust the unfolding process, knowing each ripple strengthens and expands your journey. In the next chapter, we will explore the freedom and joy that arise when you lean fully into living by systems, how surrendering the obsessive chase of goals opens space for creativity, peace, and resilience. This freedom is the gift of trusting the flow you have begun. Breathe deeply now. Imagine your life as that lake, alive with ripples spreading wide. Your systems are the stones you drop, intentional, steady, and full of promise. The waves are high, the horizon is broad. Your journey grows ever richer from here. Chapter 9: The Freedom and Joy of Living by Systems. Picture a vast open field stretching beneath an endless sky at dawn. The air is crisp, the light gentle, and full of promise. You stand alone, no path marked ahead, only soft grass beneath your feet, and the freedom to wander, explore, create your own way. This is the feeling of living by systems, not chained to rigid goals, but moving with fluidity, presence, and joy. This chapter unfolds a profound truth. When you live fully by systems, freedom and joy arise naturally. The relentless pressure of chasing specific results fades away, replaced by a vibrant engagement with the process itself. You discover that the journey, in its imperfections and rhythms, holds its own magic, sometimes far greater than any destination. For years, Amelia battled the weight of endless goals. Each goal was a mountain, towering and unforgiving. Success was always just out of reach, and failure seemed to echo louder than progress. But when she shifted to systems, something remarkable happened. Instead of racing, she began walking slowly, intentionally, with attention on each step. As she committed to daily writing rituals instead of distant word counts, she rediscovered joy. Creativity flourished, not because of a looming deadline, but because the act of writing itself became a gift. This freedom from outcome obsession brings deep peace. It loosens the grip of anxiety that often accompanies goal setting. Goals can feel like cages, where the measure of worth hinges on achievement. Systems, by contrast, invite you into an expansive space where growth is steady, gentle, and deeply human. You're not striving to prove anything. You're nurturing a life, complex, beautiful, and unfolding. Living by systems also invites you to embrace imperfection. No one walks this path flawlessly. There will be days of skipping, stumbling, and doubt, and in those days, systems offer grace. They remind you that showing up imperfectly is still showing up, that progress is not linear, and that compassion fuels endurance. This acceptance creates a joyful resilience, born not from avoidance, but from courageous presence. Imagine a dancer learning a new routine. The first attempts are tentative, full of mistakes and awkwardness, but the dancer finds joy in the movement, the music, the learning itself, not just in the final performance. Likewise, systems offer a dance with life, an ongoing flow where joy emanates from participation, not perfection. One profound benefit of living this way is a fresh relationship with time. Goals often lock us into ticking clocks and deadlines, breeding stress and haste. Systems encourage a different tempo, rhythms attuned to your natural cycles and energies. This shift allows you to live deeply in each moment, experiencing fullness rather than frenzy. Consider how small pleasures re-emerge: a mindful cup of tea, the stretch after sitting, a deep breath before starting work. These moments, when embraced as part of your system, become portals of joy, reminders that life's beauty unfolds in the now. Moreover, freedom in systems nurtures creativity. When expectation fades, curiosity blooms. You find space to experiment, to wonder, to innovate without fear of failure. Systems provide a safe container for exploration, turning uncertainty from stress into opportunity. Think of an artist who paints daily not for exhibitions, but for love of the craft. The system of daily practice frees expression, unlocks new ideas, and fuels passion. Your life systems can do the same, transforming routine into artistry, work into play, challenges into invitations. This approach also deepens your connection to yourself. You become an attentive witness to your growth, an active participant in your transformation, and a gentle guide through ups and downs. The joy derived from this connection ripples outward, enriching relationships and inspiring others. As you embody living by systems, you come to realize that success is not distant or external, but woven into your daily existence. It is found in waking with intention, in committing to small actions, in embracing the dance of change with open heart. This is the freedom of systems, moving beyond the tyranny of goals into a liberated, joyful way of being. It is a freedom that invites you to celebrate every step, no matter how small, as a victory in itself. As we draw this chapter to a close, feel this invitation deeply, to release the need for control, to surrender to the flow of your systems, and to find joy in the ongoing process of growth. This is not a destination but a way of life, one marked by presence, creativity, resilience, and peace. The next chapter will open the horizon even wider, inviting you to see your life as a living, evolving system, a continual practice of refinement, learning, and expansion. You will be encouraged to embrace curiosity and flexibility as your lifelong companions. Take a breath now. Feel the vastness of your open field. Your systems are your dance, your journey, a song that unfolds with each step you embrace. The freedom and joy you seek are already within reach. Allow yourself to live them fully. Chapter 10. The New Horizon. A Lifetime System Practice. The sun rises slowly over an open plain, casting golden light across the landscape. You stand on this vast horizon, feeling the warmth on your face, the gentle breeze carrying whispers of possibility. The journey you've taken has brought you here, to a place not of endings, but beginnings. This chapter is your gateway to viewing your life as an ever-evolving system, a practice of continuous refinement, learning and growth that will transform the way you live forever. Today, you step into a powerful truth. Living by systems is not a short-term tactic or a fleeting approach. It is a lifelong commitment, a commitment to presence, purpose, and patience with yourself. Your system is your living architecture, shaping each day with intention and care, and adjusting gracefully as life unfolds in unpredictable ways. Here lies the foundation of your transformation, the understanding that your system is not rigid. It is a dynamic dance between structure and flexibility, discipline and compassion. Like the seasons, your system will ebb and flow, grow and contract, invent and rest. This fluidity is the pulse of lifelong vitality. Imagine a master gardener who tends not only to their garden but to the soil, the water, and the very air that nurtures growth. They adapt to storms and sun, planting new seeds and pruning old branches with wisdom and care. Your lifetime system is your garden. Your daily habits are the seeds. Your reflections, adjustments, and self-awareness are the tending hands. In embracing this, you move beyond quick fixes and isolated changes. You cultivate a mindset that values process over product, journey over destination. This mindset invites curiosity as your constant companion, urging you to explore what works, innovate where needed, and honor the wisdom that comes from experience. You discover that transformation is not a mountain summit to conquer, but a landscape to explore, a terrain rich with insights, challenges, and unexpected beauty. This expansive view frees you from the anxiety of perfect outcomes and invites you to savor the unfoldment itself. Consider how your identity interweaves with your system. Every habit, choice, and thought becomes a brushstroke, painting who you are and who you're becoming. The more you invest in your system, the more deeply your identity solidifies as someone who grows, adapts, and perseveres. This identity is your strongest foundation, unshaken by external chaos or shifting goals. Lifelong commitment to systems also nurtures resilience, a wellspring that carries you through setbacks, fatigue, and uncertainty. It teaches you to bend without breaking, to learn without judgment, and to rest when needed without guilt. Your system becomes your sanctuary, your compass, and your launchpad all at once. The practice of refinement is essential. Regular reflection becomes your sacred pause. You ask, what's flourishing? What needs adjustment? What seeds shall I plant new? This dialogue deepens your connection to yourself and your life's vision, turning your system into a living, breathing entity that grows with you. Remember, the path is uniquely yours. Your system will look different from anyone else's, shaped by your values, rhythms, and dreams. There is no universal formula, only principles and the courage to craft your own unique design. As you walk this horizon, notice how trust blooms within you, the trust in the process, in your capacity, in life itself. This trust is the invisible thread weaving every chapter of this journey together, sustaining you as an ever-evolving creator of your life. In this moment, honor how far you've come. You have learned to see beyond fleeting goals, to embrace systems as your truest compass, and to live with intention and grace. This culmination is not a conclusion, but a powerful beginning, a portal into a richer, fuller life. The horizon stretches wide and inviting. Ahead lies endless opportunity to refine, grow, and expand in ways both known and unexpected. Carry this invitation with you to be a lifelong student and artist of your system, crafting a life of meaning shaped by daily choices, reflection, and heart-led action. As you take your next step, know that your system is your ally, your map, and your home. It holds your dreams, your struggles, and your triumphs with equal grace. It is the compass that will guide you, not just today, but every day to come. Take a deep breath. Feel the expansive sky above and the solid earth beneath. Your journey with systems has only just begun. Walk forward with confidence, curiosity, and kindness, knowing that each day is an opportunity to create, to grow, and to live fully. The path is yours. The system is yours. The transformation is yours. Welcome to your new horizon.